Welcome to the weekend. And today it's time for, as I have already told you, mushroom and yesterday's salad frittata. Yesterday's salad because it didn't get eaten last night, but it will play a little role in the frittata, big role in today's frittata. Uh, so, first things first, you know, cooking or the art of food is all too often sort of overwhelmed by the final presentation and what people taste and eat. But very often, the real heroes, like in theater, like in cinema, are hidden far behind backstage where you never actually see them. So, let's start by showing you the heroes of my kitchen. And for instance, this here, this knife, recently acquired thanks to the wife. It's a gift. She was in the US earlier in the year and she picked up a set of three knives. My old knives have served me nobly for many, many years, but now they are wearing out. Here is something else. Dear friend whom we lost a year ago, Anant Rangaswamy, recommended this thing to break an egg, and it really is a fantastic device to break eggs. You just place this hollow bit on the top of the narrow end and lift up the springy bit, snaps it, and the egg literally opens like it's a small cap coming off. This here is a spring whisk, great for beating eggs, like so. And as you can see, the eggs have already been whisked. And now, let me come to the most interesting thing. So, many years ago, I used to have a pan which had a detachable handle. Earlier this year, we were in Tokyo and I found this pan which has this detachable handle which springs shut like this. So, you fasten it here, you snap it, and now it's shut. What's the use of this? The use of this is that this enables me to take this pan and then put it into the oven. And with no further ado, let's actually get the oven on preheat. So I'm going to choose the convection menu. If it's willing to get chosen, that is. Yes. Set it to 190 degrees and start the preheating. This side, we shall now get busy with the actual frittata, the ingredients of which you have probably already spotted as my phone moved across this kitchen table top. Okay, there's no oil here, that's all right, not a problem. We have plenty of oil, and let's use a strong oil. Let's use mustard, yeah, which will impart plenty of flavor to the food just by itself. So in goes a generous sprinkle of mustard oil, and we shall now commence to heat it. The gas has been turned on. I can cap the oil and put it back. And okay, the ingredients while we are here. That, of course, is chopped onion. Thank you, knife. You did a good job. My chopping skills are not the best, but with good equipment, I can do a half-passable job. That's ginger, julienne, garlic, crushed and chopped. And this here is actually mushroom stems. Now, I have separated them from the caps and sliced the caps separately, and there's a reason for that. Mushroom stems are intensely umami, so I actually tend to put them into the frying up in the initial bit, and so that some of the umami taste can actually enter, shall we say, the sauce itself. And like I said, this is yesterday's salad. It didn't get consumed. There's carrots in it, there's cucumber in it, there's tomato in it. All of these things will cook. In a sense, nobody cooks cucumber, it's mostly water, but there's no harm in it. And these are the mushroom caps which are sliced. And the sliced mushroom caps will actually decorate the top of my frittata before it goes into the oven. And that here is freshly crushed pepper. The oil is beginning to heat up. All these initial fryables go in now. And how did I know that it was ready to receive them? Because there was a strong mushroom aroma, mustard aroma, which began to rise from the pan. And of course, now you can hear the sizzle, which tells you that that was not a bad call. Good morning, Manisha. Thank you for that welcome. And I'm back in my kitchen. This is a nicely balanced pan. It's generous in size, and it kind of gets the job done. The one other thing which I'm now going to add to this pan is mixed herbs, which for some reason Americans call herbs because they think they are French. So the mixed herbs go in. I wish I had fresh oregano, I wish I had fresh basil, but that would require my going downstairs to the vegetable shop, and I didn't have the patience for it. So it's here. And the heat will stay on high. I will want to see these onions starting to caramelize just a wee bit. And when they do, then the rest of the, like I said, yesterday's salad goes in. And when that begins to cook, then the eggs will go in. And after that, after a very brief amount of time in the pan, as the eggs begin to set, what we shall do is, since I don't have hard cheese, what I do have is some cheese slices right here, and I will, instead of grated cheese, I will just put the cheese slices on top and then arrange these mushroom caps on top, and then this entire thing will go in there. As you can see, the oven is heating up nicely. The temperature is steadily going up. It takes about 7 minutes for that to reach, 7 or 8 minutes to reach 190 degrees. Those 7 or 8 minutes will be more or less sufficient for me to get my job done here. In the worst case, I might have to put that oven on a very brief pause. As you can see, the onions, yes, it's already telling me that it's ready to receive the food. Okay, shut up, wait. And as you can see, they have not started caramelizing yet, but they've started becoming translucent. The caramelizing stage will occur soon enough. In the meantime, let me mix this salad up, because otherwise it's a few things here and a few things there. Oh good, there are some onions in it as well. That can't hurt. The only problem with a thing like this is that the salad is cold, having stayed in the fridge overnight. And this is one big problem with cooking, that you need to have things going into pans which are not going to bring down the core temperature of the pan. And my fear is it's going to happen. Whether I like it or not, this pan is going to get a little cold, so I'm going to have to keep the heat on high. In the meantime, no harm in seasoning it a bit, so I add some of the pepper. The salt I tend to add to the egg, and which is what I have done today as well. Oh yes, the moment the pepper goes in, that nice aroma of the peppercorns beginning to roast also starts. What I do is I add the salt to my egg, because that way it's well spread out, because it's in the fluid. Okay, I do one more thing with egg, and particularly when I'm going to bake egg, I add a little bit of water to it. I have noticed that, I've been doing this for many years now. I think I got this idea from some Yan Can Cook type of cooking show long years back, when I was still just barely getting started in cooking, and it has served me well. And turns out that many people who cook actually use exact same idea. See how well this spring whisk works. In no time at all, you whisked it up. All right. I can smell it. It's smelling good. And now a large amount of this goes in. Now, sadly, this is going to bring down the temperature of the pan. So I'm going to keep the heat on high. But It's all right. I'll add it a little bit at a time, and it will not damage my cooking too much. It will damage it slightly. Anand Murari ji, namaskar. Won't take all that time much to cook. All these are vegetables which have all a very high water content anyway. I guess I'll leave the rest of the salad like a side salad. Probably put a little vinaigrette dressing on it and place it on the side. That can't hurt either. As soon as the vegetables begin to sear, I will add the egg, and the egg once added starts to set. अच्छा, एग के बारे में एक और मैं आप लोगों से बात कह दूं. Just like you don't want cold vegetables to go into the pan, it is very sensible. अंडे अगर यूज करने हैं तो उनको पहले फ्रिज से बाहर निकाल के रखना है, कम से कम घंटा भर पहले. उनको रूम टेम्परेचर पे होना चाहिए, वो ठंडे ना हो. And the reason for that is again very very simple. As the egg becomes cold, the white actually tends to start coagulating inside the egg, and you need it to be nice and smooth and running. So once you keep it outside, बाहर रखने से वो जो उसमें जो वो separate होने का tendency होता है वो नहीं होता, and then you don't have a problem when you use the egg in the cooking. खैर, this is going nicely. बस 1-2 मिनट और 1-2 मिनट में ये जब हो जाएगा आपको दिखाता हूँ. So that egg will go in, and then this beautiful thing of having a pan with a detachable handle, really that's where the power comes in, because then the pan will go inside, the handle will stay outside, and once the frittata is done, that same handle will work beautifully. You see, normally you have to use these oven mitts to take hot things out of the oven, but when you have this wooden handle which separates so easily, then that becomes very easy, because you just literally clamp it on and pick it out. The vegetables are doing well. They need to, the tomato is softening, but it has not fully softened. I have not reduced the heat. The heat is still on high. It's beginning to soften. The carrots also need to soften slightly, not much. The carrots will give a little crunch to my frittata, which is not unwelcome. And the onions in the salad have also now softened. So thankfully, that temperature drop did not hurt my cause much. It hurt it a little bit, not too much. In another minute, the egg goes in. Then the egg begins to set. When the egg begins to set, hi Mukund, good to see you too. When the egg begins to set, then these mushroom caps go on top of the eggs, and the cheese goes on top. I think what I will do is, while we are waiting, we will strip the cheese out. Makes my job easier finally. Right, this is nicely stripped. Okay, one cheese slice out. Let me keep it here. There are 2 more. That's just about the right amount of cheese that I require. In the meantime, that continues to cook, and the cheese emerges. As you can see, there is very little water in the pan. It's evaporating, which is all to the good. We are nearly there. The second cheese slice is also out, and now the third cheese slice. It's a bit of a skill that I have had to acquire, working with one hand and shooting with the other. But yeah, there's some joy in that. This is the time when you wish you had the use of both your hands to get the cheese out, but it's all right. No damage done. cheese is out. I'm going to give it a quick stir, level out the veg, and turn down the heat because now the eggs go right on top of this. Here goes the eggs. So the frittata, I believe, is originally Spanish, and what you want to do is you want to take the egg everywhere, and as you can see, the span is so wonderfully non-stick that the egg has barely gone inside and it's already skiddy. Nothing sticks. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. And what I'm going to do is, I can turn the heat up just a wee bit now so that some of the liquids start getting absorbed. And I will now start placing, actually heck, first let me put some of the cheese. Okay. Cheese. 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 A little more cheese. Maybe a little more cheese. And now let me start arranging the mushroom caps. You can do it to make it really pretty. Today with one hand, I will do my best, but it would definitely look more aesthetic, but we shall try. In the meantime, it's currently basically an omelette. It's a very large 3-egg omelette, and this stretches the egg so that 3 eggs actually become quite sufficient for like at least 4 people. So if you are sort of keen to regulate the amount of egg that goes in, this is a good way of doing it. This is more vegetable and less egg. Mushroom caps going in. Some more to go. At some point in time, I'm going to give up all the efforts to make them look pretty and just say to hell with it. That's broadly my style of cooking anyway. Aesthetics to a point, and then when that point comes and passes, then to hell with the aesthetics. Then just get the job done. But they sure look cute, huh? All these little crescent moons all over my pan. Actually, what happens is now that it's looking so cute, it's really difficult to not want to, keep it pretty. I think that is that. Now for the residual cheese, which shall also go in. In the meantime, as you know, my oven is still hot, and the moment I stick this into the oven, the next stage, which is actually the baking, shall we say, of the frittata, shall commence, and that will go on for about 7 or 8 minutes, at which point in time all the cheese would have melted nicely all around these cheese mushroom slices. I will place some more mushrooms now on top of this cheese, because why not? Because we have them. And the mushroom will do some hithering and dithering as it melts across the cheese, and the cheese will also do some hithering and dithering. We are nearly there. Last few little bits and bobs to go in. Done. Turn the gas off. Step this way. Open the oven. I can feel the heat inside. Drop that there, and the thing lifts off. Shut it, and vamos. That's it. Now this, at the end of that process, this very same handle will serve to... Oh, I noticed that I have a little more egg left. I'm not going to waste it. Use a spoon and waste not, want not, right? Waste not, want not. Right. On again. This time feeling more relieved that I did not waste anything. So basically now the cooking process is done. What I will do is I will come back in about 10 minutes to show you the final outcome. So if you are around, you will see another notification saying live in so many minutes. At this point in time, if you can join me, I will be very, very grateful. In the meantime, I also do not wish to keep you from whatever it is that is keeping you busy on this Saturday morning or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. So have yourselves a lovely Saturday, and I shall see you in about 10 minutes.